I can remember when we went to make the video for Nude School, it was suggested that maybe we get a host of young models to sort of be in the video with us, and we said, no, we want to go and do it naked at a pig farm, which I don't know if Michael ever quite liked that clip, but he did when they were playing it on MTV all the time. Gudinski was the only guy I ever saw at gigs, you know, from a record company who was actually a fan of the music.
Some of the best gigs I've ever seen have been gigs in sweaty small pubs and clubs. That's where I love seeing acts.
G.I. Joe's always taking a stage. Little Joe's the turn of the page. Beggars in the field, could it happen again? Where's the man who's gonna hold back the rain?
When our son Matt was born, I remember him walking into the delivery room and he had his briefcase and he had a new demo of the Angels. And so I'm sort of lying there having my contractions. He said, you've got to listen to this tape. Here I was having a contraction as I'm listening to the Angels blaring in my ear. He's sort of running around getting very excited because he's about to have a baby and signing this band that he'd been excited about for quite some time.
Wish I knew what you were looking for. Might have known what you would find. And it's something quite peculiar. Well, it's a horrid time that people kiss around. And how you don't like feeling old.
John, Archer, Douglas Faulkner and myself met at university, and I also met Greg Pirano, who's a kind of a legendary figure in Sydney. And he came up with the concept of Hunters and Collectors, and I was its singer. Talking to a Stranger was our first single. That was this kind of like weird pub rock funk fusion thing with a square beat with lots of percussion in it, and Greg Pirano's hot water cylinder on the snare. So it kind of like brought together a lot of things in Australian music that hadn't kind of like been put together before. We were filling rooms virtually from the word go, and in those days, you know, filling pubs was basically the most important criterion for signing an act, and we were very tough to negotiate a deal with. Mushroom needed to form a label as distinct and separate from Mushroom itself in order to negotiate a deal with us that we'd be satisfied with.
A band that we fought through black and blue to get, a band that were definitely ahead of their time, but were their own worst enemy in the sense they were like dealing with a communist party.
It was all about having total artistic control. White label.
So do you see what I see? Do you
In the end, I think what was most important about the control that Hunters and Collectors had over our artistic life was based on the fact that we kept filling rooms. You know, we kept doing the business live, so we were always in a strong financial position. Bands have greater or lesser degree of artistic control depending on how much financial independence they have from the record company.
She's making love to the ghost of vainglory. And she was selling love with the ghost of vainglory.
I've always wanted to do a solo album because I always felt that I was capable of putting one together where, you know, I had the lion's share of control. But I wasn't prepared to sort of take that leap until I felt the band had gone as far as it was capable of going professionally.
Mark Seymour did this promo tour with us of New Zealand, and we were at this Japanese restaurant with Michael and everyone, and Michael's like, "Come on, Mark, get out the guitar, come on, And so here's Mark Seymour doing like Throw Your Arms Around Me with Abby and Dean harmonising. I was just thinking to myself, this is really what it's all about. This song that I've grown up singing when I'm been off my face. And suddenly I'm off my face again, except it's the guy. Hey, it's the guy.
This is what it's all about.
Got some whiskey.
Whiskey.
Yeah!
It's funny, he keeps telling people that we're this special band and I'm a special girl, and we worry about that. The shift to Mushroom was kind of like a life raft really for us, because we'd actually been offered a deal by a multinational record company. But because of the fact that they were multinational, we knew that that meant that they were going to have our firstborn. So we ended up being advised not to sign this contract. There were a few weeks of going, oh my God, what have we done?
Hey, what's your problem? You make me so uneasy.
Mushroom came to the party, and it was actually quite an organic way of coming together too, because we knew a lot of the people at Mushroom, so we actually really liked the people personally.
When Steve Cross asked us to come in and sign the recording contract, he threw a bit of a surprise bash. We got really drunk on a couple of glasses of champagne. Julian, our guitarist, decided to go out into the laneway, and he was pissing away on somebody's car, and the next minute Michael Gudinski catches him pissing on his car after we just signed a contract. So it's amazing we didn't get booted off there and then.
We'd become so close, Mushroom and Festival, that a lot of people there really didn't appreciate the commitment and what we were putting behind our artists. And perhaps it was a move I should have made a few years earlier. So you're number one in this marketplace.
The Mushroom catalogue really is Australia's musical heritage. Michael went out there all those years ago and really forged ahead in the market, overcome some pretty tough obstacles and signed a lot of great acts.
Things like, Warner's and EMI and BMG, they were just sort of names like Disneyland. They were sort of part of the fabric of some other culture, whereas Mushroom was our own record company.
I never really entered as a backing vocalist thinking I'm going to be a solo artist. I was very happy up the back Still to come, Garbage, and Peter Andre conquers